Came up from the gutter, pockets filled with lids. Now I'm globe-trotting, flipping fortunes ever since Houston to Tehran, then I'm off to Panama. Started from the hustle, now I'm living like a super.
The other day, I had a lunch with a very successful friend. The guy owns a bunch of businesses, and one of them, the company that he runs himself, is a cold trading firm that roughly does 2 billion in revenue a year. So it's quite a sizable business. And during that lunch, we discussed about hiring, especially about hiring superstar, like star employee, people who are going to change the trajectory of your company. And it's even better if you can hire them before they know themselves that they are just above the crowd, because then they get pricey. So yeah, the conversation was so interesting that I even took some notes for myself. And in this video, I structured a little bit what we discussed, and I came up with the 3 most important skill set, character traits, behaviors, things, call it whatever you want, that you need to embody if you want to make it big in the commodity industry as an employee or as a business owner. And by the way, the commodity industry is one of the last industries that produces millionaire employee at large scale. So you may want to pay attention to this video even if you don't work in the industry. And if you are new to this channel, my name is Damien and I've been involved with physical commodity trading my entire career. And now I own a bunch of businesses around it. All right, let's jump in. All right, so this point is so important, and I've made this mistake in the past, assuming that everyone understood how important being operationally obsessed is. As a commodity trader, your job is to move commodity from point A to point B. So obviously you need to know all the steps that goes into moving this cargo, these commodities, man. You can't rely on people that feed you information about that. You need to know by yourself how it works. And man, the amount of energy that you need to put to close a contract is so difficult. So why would you be sloppy in the operation of that contract, in the execution of that contract? I've seen so many people making this mistake. They think because they close the contract, it's over. Or they're like, yeah, operation is going. No, the operation is so important, because if you up, you are going to lose money. First of all, maybe you don't have money to lose. So I heard that would be bad. But also, you will basically destroy any other possibility to close contract with the same counterparty, man. So you need to be operationally obsessed, man. And I spoke with extremely successful commodity trader, business owner that had large operation, and those guys, they knew everything about the operation, even though they were not in, because they have a team that take care of it. They would even know better than their team, I spoke with a very successful metal trader, and this guy sold his company for million. Now he's living the life, and man, he knew everything about it. He knew everything. He knew which type of pallet you need to put the ingot in, how you need to store the cargo inside the container. If you store like this, it doesn't work. If you store like that, then he knew everything, every little details. And it shows you that even the guys like big CEO had a massive team, he knew all the details to make sure that operationally everything goes. And I really want to state how important it is. And this is also why, I built the Shipping and Commodity Academy, and our main program is the operator certificate. It's how to move the good from point A to point B, man. And some people, they are closing deals. They are business owner for sure, but they don't even know what is it in the program. And they rely on other people to feed them information. And then they have delays, like 4 weeks delays, 6 weeks delays. Then they have claimed that, and they're like, oh, I don't know, people don't do good. Their job is because they need to know and explain how people must do their job, man. You can rely on other people, but you need to closely watch what they are doing. And I made this mistake, man. I made this mistake a couple of times, thinking that people knew how they need to end their operation, and then we lost a lot of money. So I think there is no other way around, man. You need to understand operationally how all your shipment goes. Or you need to have people that you can trust, that they know how to do that. Because honestly, operation is tough, man. 80% of the job is following up on people and making sure that people are doing their job. Constantly calling them, yeah, are you sure? Have you booked the container? Yeah, where are the containers? What are the booking numbers? What are the containers numbers? Oh man, on the pictures that you sent and on what you are telling me is not the same containers number. Why? Okay, have you spent, and it's 90% of the job is making sure that the service provider that you use are doing their job correctly, that the supplier is in time, he has a product with a quality required, that everything is smooth, You need to make sure that all your execution are smooth, and it's extremely difficult because the physical world is not the software world, the physical world, like a lot of stuff could go wrong. Truck drivers can get drunk, you know, they can get lost. For whatever reason, they don't want to work today, so they don't show up to work. There's like so many little things that could go wrong. Or humidity is too high, or it's raining, so you cannot load because otherwise it would create too much humidity in the container. There's like so many trouble that could happen because we execute in the matter, in the real world, that you need to be perfect at that. All right. And honestly, this say in commodity trading is so true. The margins are hidden in the operations. When sometimes you try to close your first deal with like a new trade, a new voyage that you don't know, you can have the same price as your competitor, like same purchasing price and same selling price. But when you calculate everything, all the price that have been given by your service provider, you make no money. And you're like, how is that possible that my competitor, by buying at the same price, selling at the same price, is making money? And most of the time, like with their experience, they are just basically, they know where there's a shortcut that you can take. They know how to be so good with the operation that cargo doesn't wait. So it doesn't cost you money and so on. So really being operationally obsessed is how you build a successful commodity trading firm. And people that are not doing it, I mean, seriously do something else, man. Because I've seen so many of those kids, and especially now that big trading firms, you know, they hire like young kids. They have a short rotation program where they do 6 months here, 6 months in the operation department, 6 months in the financial department, and then they end up on the trading desk. And those kids, man, I can tell you they have a big lack of understanding about operation, and they will be capped in their growth because they don't understand operation deeply. Obviously, they could understand it, man. If they spend more time with their operation team, if they spend more time on the ground, if they spend more time understanding exactly what is going on, they would be world class. And a little part of them do that. But most of the other guys, they have like such a big ego that they don't even want to understand how this goes on the operational level. And they're like, yeah, no, but this is not me to do, man. I'm closing contract. You do your job, go ahead. And those guys, I can tell you, they will be capped in their growth because you need to understand what is going on the growth. And one last point about being operationally obsessed is that there is a lot of things that you can't control. The price you can't control. You can control economy. You can't control if Xi Jinping is going to answer like this to Trump. You can't control that, all right? But what you can control is how you execute your trade. So if you don't make sure that the things that you can control, you are not perfect and the best at it. Seriously, what do you expect? Hey guys, yeah, I got a bit warm up with this point because like, I've seen so many kids, you know, that they could be so much better if they just spend more time understanding what is going on the physical world, you know, on the ground, rather than thinking that, oh, the only thing that I need to do is match to contract. So if you want to climb the corporate ladder or close life-changing deals, you need to be world-class at relationship management. This is so important, and actually this is maybe my weakest point, to be honest. When you are good at relationship management, you get a massive edge over your competition. A supplier will call you before anyone to tell you that a cargo is ready to be sold. Your invoices are getting paid faster than the competition. Even if there's other people like chasing the buyer to get their invoice paid, your invoice could be paid faster. You can also get calls from people that want to warn you that something is up with your cargo or with that deal. I mean, you have a massive edge about your competition. Oh yeah, and even that's something that happened to us recently. So basically we had a deal that went south and we had to transfer a quite large amount of money from one country to another. But due to capital control, it was very difficult to transfer that money fast enough to make sure that the deal goes through. Yeah, just to give you a bit more context, basically the market tanked due to the trade war, you know, and our buyer said, look, man, the contract says you have until the end of this month to ship, otherwise we cancel the contract. Because obviously for our buyer, they are hedged. So now they are going to make a massive amount of money if we cannot ship and if they can cancel the contract because they are making money on the edge. And obviously we are in a position. So we're like, man, we can't have them cancel this contract. We're going to lose so much money. So basically we had to transfer this amount of money very, very fast. So what I had to do is I had to call a friend that has a company and I said, man, look, I'm in deep trouble. I really need, can you please send this amount of money for us to that supplier? And you know what? He did. So, we would have lost a lot of money if this, payment hasn't been true and that if we were not able to load this cargo on time. So, that was a tough situation. And, you know, thanks to my relationship management skills. Oh, what does it mean, relationship management? Because I understand this term might be dry, but I think this is the correct term. So relationship management is not networking. So if you are a bit charismatic, if you're charming, you'll probably be good at networking. I mean, this is easy, but networking gets you contact. But getting contacts is useless if you cannot transform them in action. And this is where like relationship management comes. So relationship management is a trust that you build by your behaviors, not by your charm. All right. So if you behave in a certain way for a long time, you will build trust. This is what we call relationship management. And it's not enough. Charming is not enough. I can charm someone, but it doesn't mean that they are going to act as I want when I need it, So you need really to build those relationships. And as far as I know, businesses are still run by humans, and the ultimate decision maker is still a human. So your ability to manage this relationship is your edge. So in order to be world-class at relationship management, here's a bunch of examples or things that you need to do. So first of all, you always need to show up in person. So that means that you need to move your ass out of your office, take a plane, take a car, take whatever, go meet people face to face. This is the first thing, man. We are still human. Online conversation is great, it can make you more productive, but it doesn't develop deep relationship. Maybe in the future, I don't know, but I can tell you that the guy that helped us with the deal that went south, it's because we did a bunch of things together that he trusted me with the payment. That's it. If that would have only be an online relationship, it would have worked. So meet people in flesh and blood. Okay? Another point. You need to make yourself useful before asking for something. It's also very important. So for instance, let's say that you visit like a counterparty, okay? Let's say you visit a freight forwarder, someone that will organize your transport, or a warehousing company that will basically be your service provider for your product or whatever. Be useful before you need them. So for instance, you go meet them, you have a conversation with them, and then you can ask them about the business, what they need, and maybe you can put them in contact with some of the people that it's like, oh, I have this guy that need this, I will just put you in contact, I can do this for you, or whatever. Alright, so try to be useful before asking for something. Very important, because honestly, people don't do that. Another point, pay fast. All your invoices, everything that you need to pay them fast. People will love you if you pay them fast. That's it. You have to pay something. So why do you wait? Pay them fast. Another very important point is communicate clearly and manage expectation. So for instance, let's take again this example of a freight forwarder. So someone that is going to organize the transport for your product, for your commodity. Sometimes, most of the time, you will ask them for a quote. Let's say that now you want to ship some product in another destination. You maybe have a deal or maybe nothing. Anyway, you still need to know the cost of the transport. So the problem is maybe you will ask them for 10 quotes, 10 prices before you can close one deal, because especially at the beginning, you don't know if you're going to close a deal. You need to know the transport price, all right? And they need to give you the transport price. And the problem is after 5 times, the guy is not going to answer you. He's like, man, you already asked me for 5 prices. We haven't done any business together, so I'm not going to answer you no more, or I'll be extremely slow. So one way to counter it is to be extremely clear and manage the expectations. Look, I'm trying to close that business with that guy. It's not sure. Please give me a price. Then he's going to give you a price, and then you need to give a feedback on that price. You can say, look, I'm sorry, the price was good, but this or that happened. You need to bring them into what you do, so then they can understand why you ask all of that. And then maybe they will stop talking to you not after 5 quotation given, but after 20 quotation given. All right. But it's very important to clearly explain what you want to do and manage expectation. And you can say to him, look, man, I know I'm a pain in the ass. I'm asking for a bunch of price, but I'm trying to do that. And once we have closed, I'm not going to shop around to try to find someone who is going to be $5 cheaper, And then you are my guy, but I need you to help me now. And if you communicate that clearly with people, usually it works. So very important to clearly communicate. And this is the same with your supplier, with your buyers. When you see that there is a very bad thing that is going on, like a claim, something that you'll have to send this information to your counterparty, but you don't want to because you know it's going to be difficult, you need to do it as fast as possible. So clear communication. Another point is fix your mistakes, with no drama. When you do something bad, when you make a mistake, all right, it happens. It's fix it and don't make a f***ing drama about it. All right? Very important. Take the hit on your chin, pay whatever you need to pay, do whatever you need to do. But if you made a mistake, you need to fix it fast with no drama, and you need to be a man. All right? Take the punch and move forward. So if you behave like a little girl, you can just forget about it. Last point, about relationship management, and it's something that is very, very important. And I did this mistake in the past, and I shouldn't. It's like, don't ghost people. When someone needs something from you, reply to them. Even if they are wasting your time because you don't need them right now, because, it's people that you don't want to transact in the future with them, don't ghost them. This is the worst thing that you can do. And if there is an issue, and this guy is being a pain in the ass, or what, if there's a problem, you need to tell them, look, man, you've done that, I don't like it, so now we can cut communication. And then you can block him or whatever. Don't ghost, man. It's very, very bad. And I'm very busy. A lot of people want my attention to do whatever things. Sometimes what I do is like, if this is someone that I don't know, I just don't reply. But if I'm in conversation with someone and they are expecting something from me, what I try to do is to be extremely clear and to explain why I'm not going to entertain anything with them. If they don't understand that, then that's okay. That's on them. But try to be extremely clear and don't ghost people, because you never know what could happen in the future. So, all right. So to sum up, basically the whole idea of being world-class at the relationship management, your long-term goal must be mutual value exchange, but your short-term behaviors must match it. Because it's easy to have like a goal. Oh yes, but do this business with me. This is a great opportunity, blah, blah, blah. But if your behaviors today doesn't match what you want to build, it doesn't make sense. So your behaviors today must to match your goal, which should be long-term value exchange, mutual value exchange. So this is a law of the universe, all right? Money loves speed. The faster you work, the more money you make. The faster you do anything, the best your compound rate is. So it's really important to understand like everything that you do, there is like a compounding rate. So the more mistake you do, the more you learn, the bigger trade you do, everything that you do, in your life, it compounds. So if you can do everything faster, your compounding rate is going to be incredible. It's something that you really, really need to drill inside your head. You can't be sloppy. You can't be lazy. You need to execute fast and well everything. And if you can do that, the world is your oyster. Because a lot of people, this is not that they are not fast, because most of the time they are afraid. So if you can remove that from your work, and if you can work twice as fast as anybody else, at the end of your life, you are not going to be like twice higher than anybody else. You are going to be like 2,000 times higher than anybody else because of the compounding effect. All right, I'm not really clear. I think like it's a bit too complex. Let's take an example. If you ask something from someone, let's say like, oh man, can you give me this sugar price? And the guy takes 2 weeks to answer you. You are not going to do business with that guy. It's impossible. If instead of 2 days, he give you an answer in 2 hours, you're like, okay, this guy is responsive. There's some business that could be done. If instead of 2 hours, the guy answer you in 2 minutes, they're like, man, all right, let's rock and roll. We can have a conversation. We can see what is going on and so on. So speed is the most important factor in everything that you do. Then the reason behind it is like it helps to compound any task that you do. So if instead of 12 trades, you can do 24 trades, man, you will make way more money. And if you expand that to 10 years, man, you are not going to make double the amount of money, but you're going to make 5 times, 6 times the amount of money because of the compounding rate. So not sure if you... I made this point well, but lot speed, try to be as fast as possible. And if you can be as fast as possible without being sloppy in everything that you do, so you'll be able to speak with Elon Musk, man, in a couple of years or whatever, man. So speed is so important. All right, and here's a bonus point that we also discuss, and it's for the people that are younger, like in their career. Man, don't expect the world to give you what you want, man. It won't happen. So you don't expect to get big bonuses. Don't expect to become trader. That your boss will see how good you are, and they will make you a trader because of that. Don't expect that. This is not how the world works, man. The reality is like if you, for instance, let's say you are in a small firm. There's like maybe 4 traders, 20 people that work there. Man, you need to plan, man. You need to scheme. You need to do everything that you can to take this position, and you cannot be nice, man. Don't be nice, man. You really need to plot like in a way to just take one of those seats, man. I don't know, but you need to be aggressive, man. Maybe you should read those 2 books, like The Art of War from Lao Tzu and the 48 Laws of Power from Robert Greene. Man, it will give you like at least a framework to work your way on the trading desk, man. I'm not saying that those books are the alpha and omega and that life is like this. It's not. But in that specific case, it is, man. You really need to be aggressive and go take what you want, man. You cannot be passive. And there's so much of that, man. In the young people that, we work with or that we've seen, they are a bit too much passive. And you won't be a trader like this, man. If you see that there's a trader that's like 2 bad years, man, go attack him, man. What are you doing? It's 2 years of loss. The other people are making money. I can do your job better, man. And show that you can do your job better. Come up with deals that this guy should have done. Undermine him. Kill him, man. This is how you get to become a trader, man. But it's the same also for my story. I had to fight to become a trader, man. My boss, she didn't say, "Oh, Damien, now you are a trader. Go make deals." No. She said, "You are an operator. I know you are a lot to work, but if you want to become a trader, you need to bring me deals, and it shouldn't be on your time as an operator." So I'm like, all right. Okay. And you know what? But this is what I did, man. I worked double, man. I think I went to bed like at past 1 a.m. like every night. Woke up at 6 a.m. But I was young. Like for 4 months in a row in order to bring the first deal that would make me a trader. And you know what? I did. But it was a lot of work. It was very difficult. And I had to fight with everyone to make it happen. But I did it. So really, man, don't think that the world owes you anything. That is the worst. And don't think that the world is going to reward you with what you want. It won't happen. You need to go get it. All right? And if you need to fight for it, if you need to undermine someone, if you need to take someone's position, you need to be able to do it, man. This is how you'll become a trader. I can tell you all the guys that transitioned very early in their career, they were all killers, man. All clevers. And they were all very aggressive. Most of them took someone else's position. Alright, so on that note, I hope that you liked this video, and if you want to break into the world of commodity trading, just check the first link in the description below this video and you will end up on the Shipping Commodity Academy. Ciao!